Hey, Lisa again. I'm throwing up another video relatively quickly because I have a minute and I got a request from a fellow group member. I mentioned that I'm in Facebook group Vera Bradley Buzz for Vera Bradley fans, and it's a terrific group. And someone requested that I do a kind of a what's in my bag video for the 100, the iconic 100. So I thought I would do that, and I get good positions, like get it in the shot well, and try to show, because I actually load this bag up two different ways depending on what's in it, how much is in it, because of the issue with the bag collapsing on itself, which I talk about in my other video for the 100, and we talk about a lot in the group, because the bag needs to be shipped flat. So even if you're getting it in the store, the signature store, they get their bag shipped to them flat, and so it really comes with this tendency to fold in on itself, collapse in on itself, that can be frustrating. But I found a couple of things that sort of help counter that. But anyway, I don't have my tape measure. I did measure this bag in the other video, and I guess I could put the dimensions in the blurb about the video, the description about the video. But if you look in my other 100 video, I do measure the bag in the video. So I store my bags with just, folded up towels and stuff in them, and so that's how this bag is right now. This is obviously Bordeaux blooms. I searched high and low when I looked for this bag because I wanted good Dragonfly placement, and I went to my nearest signature store one night, and I said to the sales girl, who was very sweet, I'm interested in the iconic 100 in Bordeaux blooms, and I'm interested in the Dragonflies. And so she, without me even really having to ask her, she went into the back and got out all that they had so that I could analyze them and pick the one I wanted. And out of the 4 that they had in stock, only this one had any dragonflies on it. So I thought, I'm not really going to do much better than this probably. So I was so happy when I saw this, because you can see I got the big one there, and then I got a small one there on the side, and another one there on the end there. So I felt like, none on the bottom. I felt like I was, kind of ahead of the game. And then I got home and I was looking around, poking around more, and I looked down in the slip pocket, and there's one in the slip pocket, but nobody can see that one. It's my secret dragonfly. Anyway, so it was flat, it came all flat and everything, and so I got home and I've been stuffing it ever since, and it has been helping to sort of retrain the bag to be in the shape it's supposed to be in. So first thing I'll do is empty it out. Those are tissues, because I tend to carry tissues in every bag, and I'm going to transfer them back and forth in a bunch of packs of tissues. Okay, so just take out the stuffing. These are just, some of my shirts and my husband's shirts, stuff nobody wears anymore. Okay, so you can see it keeps its shape pretty well. Of course, when it comes, it's all sort of flat like that. It's annoying. So inside, let's see if I can get decent light this time. I never can. It's got this pretty floral coordinating lining, and one zipper pocket. Oh, so dark. Sort of see the zipper pocket there. And on the other side, it has 2 slip pockets. I don't often use stuff in the slip pockets. It depends on what it is. Like if I have an iPod or something heavy, I won't really tend to put it in the slip pocket. But if I have something light, like chapstick, that or lip balm, I'll slip in there. Anyway, so now even though the bag has some structure on its own because I've been sort of retraining it, it is soft, you know, it's relatively soft. And it does have a tendency still to fold in on itself, depending on how much stuff is put in there and how it's put in there, I find. So, you know, if I'm taking my GPS and if I've got a lot of stuff and I stack it, I can stack it vertical like this. But if I don't have a lot of stuff, I'll start with the GPS pouch and I'll stack it flat, because that helps to keep a form to the bag so the bag can't scrunch in, squish in on itself. So that's my GPS, my iPad, you know, the stuff I usually have in my videos. This is the wallet I'm using right now, the all-in-one crossbody. I use it as a wallet. I tend to, like I said, just put everything in there flat. iPod, tissues, phone. This would be the only thing I would probably slip in a slip pocket or the zipper pocket. And I tend to throw my keys, my car keys, I'll throw into one of usually the zipper pocket, just so they're easy to get at. There's still, okay, so that's all in there. And there's still all this space up top that I could put more. I could probably put in a whole nother GPS pouch. Oh, did I put tissues in there? Yeah, I put tissues in there. So that amount of stuff and that dimension tends to keep the bag, keeping its, you know, help the bag keep its shape really well. If I'm not, there are times when I don't take the GPS pouch. Let's just take that out. That's the GPS pouch. If I take that out, like if I'm going somewhere with my husband, so he's driving, so I don't have to worry about it if I get lost. Now I've taken that out. So I have everything else still in there. I find that as I carry the bag, it tends to collapse on itself like this, because there isn't that big form in there, the structure that this gives it, you know. It starts to sort of collapse. Although I have to say, just in holding it now, I can feel that the bottom, which is a soft base, but it has some resistance to it, I can feel that it's not collapsing, not wanting to collapse as much as it used to before I started storing it stuffed with stuff to help keep it that way. Like giving it muscle memory in a way. But so sometimes if I'm going to be not carrying my GPS and maybe not as much stuff in it, I will, and I said that I've mentioned this in my other video, I will take a large cosmetic case and just flatten it down, and then I stick it horizontally again, flat, you know, in the bottom. Doesn't take up that much room because it's flat and there's nothing in it. I just squish it down, and I find that provides that same side-to-side resistance that the GPS pouch would give it. So then I can, you know, again, I just tend to throw stuff in there. I'm not really that organized. iPad, phone. I probably would put the iPad in first. Just the flattest thing on the bottom and the widest thing on the bottom. And then the iPod and the tissues again. And again, you can still see, even with that thing on the bottom, that pouch on the bottom, there's still a lot more room in there that you could get even more stuff in there. But that's what I tend to carry in there at any given time. Maybe a pen, maybe a pad of Post-it notes if I think I'm going to be needing to write something down. But that's how I tend to carry it. And, you know, it sits against the body nice. I like that it sort of has some body to it, you know, that it doesn't collapse against my body. Because this shape is what I'm going for. I really like that about it. So, and it keeps its shape as well, you know, through the arm too. So that's nice. I've also, sometimes I do this. Sometimes if I'm not really feeling this, well, you can take it off, of course. You could just unhook it, throw it in your bag if you're out and about, but you can just sort of I did this with in the video for my chain bag. You can just sort of, you know, tuck it in and sort of zip it like that. So, you know, the strap does go across, but then it's tucked into the zipper pocket. I do that more with the chain bag, but you know, you can do that and it sort of gets it out of the way if it's something that, you know, bothers you. It doesn't really bother me to, you know, carry the bag with the strap just sort of, you know, hanging down like that. I don't mind that look. But anyway, that's what I have in there, and those are the two kind of different ways that I pack it, with that cosmetic thing or without it. I mean, you know, if you have enough in there, you really don't need it. And if you lay the stuff flat, most of your stuff in there flat, it does really help keep the bag in shape, in its proper shape. But there, again, you can see it sort of starts to do that. And this part, scrunching up here and getting narrow like that up top, just bugs the living. Well, it just really bugs me. No, and it's such a shame that it does that. But if you fill it up, you know, and you can get a lot of stuff in there. If you fill it up nicely, that doesn't happen. So that's what's in, you know, that's what I normally carry. It fits in here really well, and there's room for more. I just don't have it super packed most of the time. I mean, I could fit a book in there. You know, it's very easily fit a bunch more stuff in there. Probably twice the amount of stuff that I just put in there. I could fill it up with again. It's a good size bag, and I will put the dimensions in the video description, because I did forget to set up with my my tape measure. But that is the iconic 100 handbag. I hope that was helpful. If anybody has any other requests, don't hesitate. I mean, I'm open to video suggestions. Thanks for watching.